there we go. And
oh, by the way, I'm gonna find you and beat you up from Willow.
Okay.
That's how we started.
No, bullshit. I watched Ruby with her. I spent quality time. You're full of lies.
Leroy
I'm gone for one session and you spread slander.
Welcome to Group F here on the Ilderon Tales.
And with absolutely no context to that conversation, welcome to the show. You're in for a ride.
Alright, so yeah, welcome to the Ilderon Tales. This is Group F, episode 13. Hopefully, well, I'd say the start of a new story, but no, it's not. We're just gonna go someplace, and we'll see where we land. We're just gonna get started tonight. So, D&D is a role-playing game. Everything you are seeing here is live. The outcomes of any situation, none of it is set in stone, and anything can happen. There are some rules that are governing how we roll, but other than that, the entire story is impromptu. Picking up from last week, the group was locked away by some fire cleric, or was kidnapped by some fire clerics named the Gaiori. They were thrown in a dungeon and did not know where they were at. After a few failed escape attempts, the party was eventually escorted deeper into the dungeon, one by one. A woman in the order of clerics by the name of Karin came and started escorting party members. Karin and a guard by the name of Roaz started escorting the party members down to a private dungeon. As she was escorting people, she first escorted Milani out of the room and
Bitch gonna die.
Yeah, confessed to killing Chat. Then she escorted Morgan out of the room. Before she escorted Morgan out of the room, she she didn't attempt to set Nyoka on fire, but she did light a fire underneath Nyoka, of just kind of like a warning of just like, watch it, lizard man. Led Morgan out of the room and informed her that Rain had rolled over to the wishes of the Gaiori, and then locked Morgan in the dungeon cells. Came back for Nyoka. I think all that was exchanged between her and Nyoka was like an intense amount of casual flirtation. Then came back for XJ, who was unconscious at the time, and just dragged him into one of the cells. The party then, while in the cells, saw next to Morgan was a sick Mata. She was infected with the blight, and Morgan healed her. And as you guys began talking, you found out there was another prisoner 2 cells away from Morgan by the name of Lucilith. Lucilith had been infected with the blight too, although in a much earlier stage. Not intentionally from exposure, but just from being in close proximity to Mata. Lucilith and Mata, between the information you got from both of them, you guys were able to put together all of the Gaiori's plans. There is the Gaiori are taking people who are infected with the blight, healing the few that they choose, and exporting the others to infect more people in a third location. And then they are planning to attack Beechwood Retreat, or rather enact their coup under the guise of a plague outbreak. Lucilith works for a magical organization, an ancient one, that is in charge of protecting Ilderon. And he is a lone agent that was sent here to find the essential pin of their plan and pull it out and let the whole thing unravel. He determined that if he could find the teleportation circle they were using and dispel it, that they would not be able to mobilize their army or any of the plague victims, and they wouldn't be able to keep getting places, back and forth places so fast, because every other teleportation sigil inside of Beechwood Retreat is closely watched. That said, he got to this location and dispelled one circle in here. However, there's another circle inside of this dungeon, but he said what really matters is the tertiary location. They're bringing people here, and then from here they're taking people to another location, and he didn't know where that circle was before he got captured. The party informed him that they had an idea. It was somewhere in Lochliel, and with that, he decided he was going to break free, get a hand on his book, and likely die, sending a sending to the other members of his organization, letting them know how to, basically stop this plan. And before he went through with his valorous act, the party convinced him to stop and devised another plan to break out of these cells using Morgan's animal forms, or animal shapeshifting. Mata and Morgan got out of their cells while Mata and Morgan snuck off to find the party's gear and Lucilia's spellbook. They snuck into the armory where it was being held and found the gear, but a sentry alerted the guards to their presence. Morgan grabbed the gear, and Mata killed the sentry and held back the guards. Morgan brought Lucilith his spellbook back, and he began scribbling a teleportation circle for you to get everybody out of the dungeons. And Mata bought you guys 7 rounds of time before she was killed on the, presumably killed on the door, holding the Gyori back so that you can all escape. The Gyori couldn't break through the door in the last 2 rounds. And on the 10th round of combat, Lucilith completed his teleportation circle and activated it, and everybody jumped in. After you jumped in, the party all emerged on the other side of a gigantic teleportation circle and eventually conjectured that they were inside of the Maphis University, and probably one of the world's largest, most public teleportation circle. Lucilith informed everybody in the room as you guys teleported into a room filled with guards, scholars, and arcanists, all who were drawing weapons on you the moment you teleported in. Lucilith informed everybody that he was a part of an allied organization with the university, of what was going on over in Lochliel, and that he was infected with the blight and needed healing. You guys were cared for, and then we're going to pick up from there. So, does anyone want to do anything in the evening? Otherwise, we can fast forward through the night and pick up in the morning.
Ioka is going to talk to the people there because he hasn't ever seen.
Okay.
You know, he hasn't gone anywhere too far outside of the Low Lakes area. So he's going to talk with some of the people, and he's going to try and get some smells for his smell bag.
Smells for the smell bag. All right.
Something interesting on there. So.
Okay.
But he's just going to talk to people. He is going to try and convince, if he can, he would like to talk with some local clergy.
Okay, so what classifies as a clergy to Nyoka? Because I can tell you what you see in this room. You definitely are.
That's a good question. Let me roll a religion check to even see if I would know.
Okay. Anyone else want to do anything?
Milani would honestly be up in the room that he's staying in, and just like contemplating everything that's happened, and basically just asking how could someone who follows the same religion as him, in a way, fall so far.
Can I make like a religion or history check about? Well, I guess I'm not. Milani's not waxing poetic. So I have the answer. I think I have the answer to that question, but if you're not talking out loud.
Well, so here's the thing. You guys wouldn't have individual rooms that you were staying in. They would basically just throw you all in an in-room here, because you wouldn't have, you know, none of you guys are associated with the university. Lucilith is not a member of this university. He's a member of an organization that uses this university. He's third party. And so, like, he does not have any pull to get you guys, like, nice rooms or anything.
So Brandon, Nayoka
What
thinks...
inn are we in?
You guys would be staying at the Lucky Spell Inn inside of inside of the Yapple. Or no,
I need a quick perception check.
Well, actually, nope. I'm sorry. You're gonna be in a different inn. Because you guys would be in the Anelian ward.
Brandon realized, shit, the streams are crossing.
Well, no, because
the we're much earlier than that incident.
Yeah. Well, the Anelian ward is also, well, it's going to be very apparent. We'll handle it when we get there. So, Milani's heading to his room.
They tell us, like, where the room is?
Okay, yeah. They're going to put you guys up in a dorm in the Anelian ward. That's what they tell you, like, as you are, as everybody's, you know, like, getting situated, and Lucilith is, like, proving who he is. There are 2 paladins, that will escort the party. And those paladins would be Alice and Simon. They are both members of the... You guys don't know who they are. They're just paladins.
I don't know how well Red Morgan actually is.
Yeah. All right. So,
Brandon. Brandon. Nayoka thinks they're all clergy.
Okay. So, you can ask anything of the 2 paladins leading you. And I should probably pull them up. You can ask anything of the 2 paladins leading you, or Lucilith, who might be a cleric. I mean, he was God sent for you guys.
Random question.
Yes.
Our party consists of a lizard folk and 2 Genesite and a Warforged, and we're in the middle of a university.
Yeah, we probably blend in.
Are we all getting bothered by inquisitive people?
Here, no, not so much. At the
Wait, is the Warforged awake? I thought I was still passed out.
Well, you still exist, so...
I do still exist. Don't you forget it.
I've got to pull up these NPCs real quick. Give me 1 second to do that in Sky's Reach.
1, 2, You're already late, Brandon.
Well, I've got
we should do that instead of Mississippi's.
I've got them up, but I'm just like looking at. I open this folder and I'm seeing other NPCs that are inside of Sky's Reach that I'm just like, oh, okay, that's cool. All right, so the party and we're going to. I'm gonna roll a D4 -1 for how long it takes Lucilith to convince people to give you a room. 2 -1 is going to be 1 hour. And then you guys rested for 2 hours before this. So, XJ, there we go. The name's on the tip of my tongue. XJ is going to be waking up as the party is all getting ready to move. XJ wakes up to he is in a large open auditorium like room where the stage would be in this room. Instead,
Question: did anyone bother to take the bag off my head?
He feels his arms are not bound.
And the answer to that is no. Nyoka
Yeah.
stayed on there.
Like, this needs to stay here. Trust me. Alright, so I take the bag off and I just see this surrounding.
Yeah, on the stage, or where you'd expect the stage to be, is a large teleportation circle that is about 40 feet in diameter. Moving throughout this room, there are a set of guards have came and replaced the two that are now leading you. It looks like some high-level plate mail warriors defending this teleportation circle. In the rest of the sanctum, you can see this is kind of like a library study hall of sorts with different tables adorning this area. And probably about 3 floors to this whole place. And the floor is just going around the outer wall. And just different people moving about all different walks of life here. All of them look a lot smarter than XJ and his friends.
Do I see any of my friends?
Yeah, looking around, your friends are... your guild members are gathered around you, along with a woman and a man. They are in full plate mail armor with spears on their back and shields on their back too. The woman is going to lean down to XJ, helping him to his feet, and say, "All right, come on. I haven't seen one of your type before, but I heard you you recover more than normal constructs."
You see,
Should I?
you see, Nyoka.
I don't
he's
know
very
if I'm
sad.
at a hostile area or not, so I'm debating just straight up attacking her.
She is helping you, by the way.
For the sake of the story, I'm going to play along.
I mean, look, if you want to get all hostile, it's fine. I'll let them kill you.
Sure, I can bring in that backup character. No. Alright, so I'm just gonna ask, like, where are we? And I'm directing this towards Morgan.
A Lil Nagai.
Gesundheit. Now, where are we?
A Lil Nagai.
Must be dusty in here. Where are we?
Look, it's been a long day. Are you stupid or incredulous?
Yes.
Under his breath, Nyoka goes, "Stupid."
It's like... just like... Last thing I remember was being in the cell, and now we're here.
Yes. We're in a Lil Nagai. Do you know what a Lil Nagai is, or do I need to explain that?
No, I don't know where Lone Lagai is. Never been here before.
Lord, they don't program you with anything, do they?
They program me to kill. That's about it.
Well, after we get back to Galkin, which is another continent, I'll need to find whoever programmed you, because they need to be fired out of a cannon.
In all fairness, they're probably dead.
Boss, don't get mad at him. I didn't know where Lonely Guy was either.
We went through a teleportation circle. A smaller version of points to the big one. We're in Sky's Reach, the Maple
far away from
University.
home.
How hostile is the territory? I know right now where we are is not hostile, but like the surrounding area.
Well, what's your religious beliefs?
You can roll me a history check for what XJ knows about it, Ilderon Tales.
What's religion?
Mm-hmm.
No. Let's see here. What's religion?
So I have a history check, and not a religion check for a little guy.
Oh, a history check.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same modifier.
Okay, they're both -1?
They're both -1.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, yeah, at an 8, I mean, you're not going to know much about the politics of a little guy. I mean, you're going to know you were never told to go here and kill people.
No, it's just like, this isn't the desert. Where are all the bodies?
Somehow, Morgan, I suddenly know what you feel like all the time.
No, you don't. You can't look at yourself do it too.
I want to preference I haven't done anything to piss you off in the last week.
I like how you have
That's supposed to be a plus?
like, right? Like...
Alright, so, once XJ is helped to his feet and you guys begin walking out, XJ is going to see a elder gentleman walking in new robes towards him. He is going to have his... there's a woman following him, and he's going to have his hands outstretched like to the side and a large smile on his face and say, guess whose favorite street performer is cleansed and plague-free?
Noticing a lack of stabbing wounds in him. Let me fix that.
Nyoka is like, where's my robe?
You don't wear robes.
But I still want one.
Noka, are you wearing pants?
Do you even wear pants?
No, actually. Nyoka just...
Where's your dick then?
Nyoka's been kind of in the buff for a while now.
I think
he's a lizard. Like, the way they work, like, they can put it all the way in.
Yeah, we don't need any notes on the lizard anatomy. But when
no, let me go into deep detail about the lizard anatomy.
When
Come on, Brandon, you try to do a science. You try to do a science lesson every episode.
Jackal's completely right. Like,
Jackal's completely right. Please stop talking now.
All starts with the cloaca.
But no, at the mention of, where are my robes, Lucilith is going to gesture his thumb and say, you can have my old ones. The woman following him is going to say, Master Lucilith, your robes had to be burned. And he shrugs and says, nah.
Master, you must be some street performer.
Lucilith nods and says, I am one of the most renowned street performers of Beechwood Retreat.
Then why have we never heard of you until now?
Well, you guys don't get much into the city much. And he's...
That's fair.
Yeah, and he's going to extend that and say, well, next time you come by the retreat, I'll be sure to put on a great show for you, and you can spread the word. I'm going to rest here for the evening at our whatever room they put us in, and then I'll be drawing us a circle to get us back to Gauten. Will you be accompanying me?
Nyoka's like, oh, now, be leaving quite quickly. We go when Morgan says we go, and we go all together. You be owing us.
The morning.
Nyoka looks at her, kind of eyebrow raised, and kind of whispers, "Don't we want to be getting some clerics from over here, away from the Gaiori, to help cleanse our lands? I don't trust what they've been doing. They be locking Nyoka up. They be no ill people in the house. They are not trustworthy."
The last time we hired clergy, we ended up locked in a desert.
Well, we can hire twice.
Yes, we can make the same mistake twice.
These are better.
You don't know that.
I know that they don't lock Nyoka up after diving through the magic keys.
You don't know
As
that.
you guys are
Wait,
having
what? These are
like this
better.
conversation, Lucilith is going to say the Sun Yeth are much more endearing than the Gaiori. For starters, they have a written code that actually defines their practices.
In all fairness, they weren't allowed to kill us in Lockleal.
I don't think
So
that
they
was because
moved
of
us.
religious reasons, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think, boss, that they, according to him, that's a staging ground. They didn't want to add too many bodies to the count and add suspicion. They had to come up with stories, and too many stories means raised eyebrows. Heck, even one story, and we didn't believe them.
They weren't very convincing liars.
People don't just not come out of a house.
Regardless, I think Nyoka has a point, but maybe a future look into something. Because I can tell you that the Gaiori are assholes and murderers and scumbags. They have been cleansing. They have been cleansing the land.
My point is you have no real way to vet them. You want to hire more clerics to do the job we hired the old clerics to do. The ones that have been poisoning and killing people.
Just a random thought. By association, the fact that we brought them into our town, did we technically start this?
Technically. But
That's why we have to stop it.
Oh, I mean, I wasn't going to do it for the betterment of the town. Like, they locked me in a cell and tortured us. I really want to kill them. This is all, it's all for XJ. This has nothing to do with the betterment of the town of...
I think at this point we all have our own axes to grind against them.
Oh, I have way more than an axe.
besides, I'm not... How are you going to convince anybody that actually can do anything to go across the ocean into the clutch?
Yeah, it's not exactly like we're part of everyone's favorite parts of society.
If they be willing, then they be willing. We need to ask, though.
Nayoka, I agree with you, but maybe on another trip. Let's let the fire settle from this one before we start another one.
I don't plan to come back here, do you?
Plan? No. The possibility that it will happen? Anything's a possibility.
Yeah, so why don't we just take care of it right now?
Look, if you want to go recruit clergymen. It's not like any of you ever listened to me anyway.
He has a point.
I'm sleeping.
Or she has a point. We don't. Anyway, I'm gonna go into a recharge cycle. I'm still pretty beat up. I'm not going to her room. I'm literally just like right there and then.
Oh, XJ, before you pass out,
I'm still conscious.
you try to blow me up again, I'll break your damn core myself.
I have no knowledge of this.
All right.
Nyoka looks up and says 2.
To what?
2 times.
What about 2 times?
You tried to blow us up 2 times.
I think I would remember something like that.
You are pretty dumb, aren't you, Spirit Stone?
I've already left. I wanted that noted.
All right. So as you guys are talking there, the two paladins are going to start leading the party towards the Anelian ward, with Lucilith following closely behind them. As you guys are on your way there,
Is there, Brandon? Is there any like flowers or things around?
inside the university, moving out of the Belson Sanctum, Nyoka is going to see a huge tower on to the southeast in a courtyard. This tower almost stretches as high as the keep in the center of the city. He doesn't know what it is, but anyways, every window inside the tower is dark. There would be, all types of just in the courtyard around it, all types of like bouquets hung from trees, origami, other art and trinkets, hung from this tree, and just, gosh, it would look like some sort of memorial to Nyoka.
Okay, is there anything like on our path, like just random like planted flowers, like they tried to beautify the city?
Well, these people wouldn't care about beauty. The path you are taking, I'm going to roll you a percentage die because you pass through a step. You'd pass through a step of the Calgaran ward, and 9%. So for a small second, Nyoka, he is in a he can see in the distance like a road leading to the entrance way of the university, and the buildings there, the arches, the statues, everything there is beautiful. Where these paladins are leading you does not seem beautiful at all.
Back to the slums we go, guys.
All right, so while you're walking, Simon's going to say back to Lucilith, never feels quite right throwing. It never feels quite right throwing outsiders in the Anelian ward. It'd be a scary place. Lucilith is going to say, nonsense. Some of my best friends are nearby.
Any friends of yours probably
I have the feeling that this argument is the equivalent of, it's not racist, I have a black friend.
Mm-hmm.
Nyoka is going to grab the old man. What's his name again?
Lucilith?
Lucilith. He's gonna grab Lucilith and pick him up and say, "What do you be doing, old man? You be setting us in a trap? Nyoka don't like traps."
And
Nyoka, down.
so you're gonna have to roll a grapple check against him as you go to say that, because he's not gonna let you just pick him up and start shaking him. You can roll a contested athletics check against his acrobatics. All right.
The first one. Sorry, I double clicked it.
Okay, Lucilith is very spry on his feet as you go and start shaking him. Or as you go to start shaking him, he's going to duck under your hands and spinning out of the way and say, "Come down. I wouldn't have saved you if I'd just lead you into another trap. Besides, the Anelian ward's just where they throw all the terrai."
What be this terrai?
The undead! You daft lizard!
Simon...
We know terrai.
Yeah, Simon looks back and he says, well, it's not only for them. Outsiders, unregistered citizens, all of the like that might cause the university political trouble.
You certainly found that in that jail. Trouble is all I seem to find with these three.
Again, haven't done anything in a week.
I want it stated that that's a lie, because it's only been like I don't think we've played a week out in this campaign. So Willis has been at least in the last 4 days.
Group F, you guys are, I think you guys are touching just at a week. Anyways, though, you guys are led to the Anelian ward. There isn't much of a, so where the other buildings have been, like, well kept and everything, these are all, like, the old buildings of the university that have kind of been, like, repurposed. Classrooms, split up into dorms that can, comfortably house, like, 10 people. You guys would each have to, of course, check in here, too. And the process is very extensive with the Risen member. But otherwise, you are all, led into, like, a, it's kind of hard to, I guess what would be the best explanation for it is, like, a 10 or a 6-bedroom apartment. And you're all given, your own small little room and otherwise left to your own devices. Simon and Alice look to Lucelith before he goes and says, if you do your teleportation sigil or circle from here before you check out, make sure and check with one of the Risen members. He nods and says, thank you for the loving and enduring hospitality of the Kalkin. Simon just kind of grimaces and walks off with Alice.
Ooh. That's gotta have been an awkward walk.
Yeah, and then he's going to look at all of you and say, first thing in the morning, I'm teleporting. You can either teleport with me or without me.
Well, there's the issue. We can't teleport without you, so...
and he is going to, God, there wouldn't even be a notched candle here, and he's going to be, well, at sunrise, make sure you're all rested. And
Nyoka goes, I don't think you understand. Morgan's in charge, not you. We saved you.
Am I in charge?
You are in charge, according to...
Then shut up!
Well, you know I don't listen to you.
Master just slapped the snout of the dog.
He's going to say, and looking to Morgan, and say, well, Morgan can make the decision to come with me or to wait here. And with that, he's going to look at everybody and say, good job tonight.
No, I don't think you understand what I'm actually saying, old man.
We're going in the morning. If you want to be stubborn, I'll leave you here.
That's not necessary, Shalefi. Not necessary at all. But the old man can't draw circles if his arms are broken.
If you break his arms, I'll send you to the bridge.
Is the bridge happy?
No.
Then I don't know if I want to go to the bridge.
Don't you remember?
Then think about what you, want to do next time. I want all of you to think about what you do before you do anything again. I don't know if any of you understand. I died.
Well, I mean, you're still here, so...
I died. By the grace of Renalta, I get to yell at you right now. But you idiots got me killed. You got Mata killed. So I don't want to hear Morgan's the boss and then backtalk. We're leaving in the morning. We're going to turn that circle off, and I am going to kill every one of those Gaiori.
For once, me and you are on the same page about something, Morgan.
Good.
I'm excited to kill.
I need sleep.
Actually, me and you need to have a talk as well.
And and Nyoka's gonna turn back to the old man and he's gonna say, "See, we're leaving in the morning."
Lucilith is gonna put his hands up and say, "Hey, the boss has spoken."
It's okay to ignore him. We all do.
Lucilith is going to close his door, and blow out any torch he's got lit in there. Keep it down for the evening, but otherwise, you guys can rest for the night. And
Nyoka's gonna hit up the bartender.
you are not in.
Please don't hit the bartender.
You are in a dorm.
Oh, well then he would have hit up somebody that's before they left on there and asked them if he could get like a bouquet or something.
I mean, you can go out and look for one.
Are we allowed to leave?
The Anelian ward, yes, you were all checked in. The Calkin took you to an office, and that was the extensive process that I just fast forwarded through. Of they keep a register of everybody who's inside the Anelian ward, and then that's why
okay.
Simon said before you teleport out of here, make sure you check out first.
Oh, okay.
Basically, we're in a boarding house.
Okay, so then Nyoka is gonna look for something interesting to smell.
Okay, heading out of here, it is a good little walk. You can roll me an investigation check. And how far would Nyoka be willing to walk away from here? Because you are on the very outskirts right now of
not
Sky's
very
Reach.
far. He's just trying to find something quick and easy.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an
Morgan is
investigation
not
check.
some cheap whore.
Well, that's not a good way to start that.
All right, so you are not going to. So there's something weird about this area. Nyoka's going to notice nothing grows over here at all, and he searches far and wide, looking for anything that grows before he finally gets into a empty building. And just on the windowsill here, there are going to be a couple like potted plants. They don't seem, I guess, like terribly important. But picking up one, you smell it, and it is giving off a small scent. Although the plant itself is incredibly stiff. Nyoka can grab it if he wants.
Yeah, he does.
All right.
And he puts it in his smell bag and he goes back.
Okay. And
he also grabs some dirt and puts it in. Like, do I have like any like spare leather that I could like just hold the dirt in? Too.
You can buy some. You're in the biggest city in the world.
Okay.
You'd have to walk into town.
He just takes a handful of dirt and puts it in his pouch.
Okay.
Because he does have that ripped leather bag.
And does anybody else want to do anything? I know Milani.
I believe Milani wanted to talk to XJ. I guess like they'd be doing that while Nyoka's out picking dirt. Trying to find his appeasal gift.
XJ.
What?
I'm not talking to you as a guild member right now. I'm talking to you as a fellow soldier. The actions that you and Nyoka started there, attacking the Gaiori and everything, it could have gotten us all killed. As a soldier, your number one duty is to protect your teammates. I understand that your fighting force was more infiltrate.
I think you misunderstand my fighting force. There was no protection. We were built to kill. We didn't care about each other.
And that's the thing, is this isn't that old force. We're not machines that can be rebuilt. We're people. We can die and not come back. You have sentience. You are a person now. You're not just a machine. You need to think.
It's like
I'm not saying I'm a perfect person myself. I've made mistakes that have cost us. You could have gotten us hurt too.
No, I am concerned. You said I tried to blow us up
Twice.
I honestly have no memory of this. I think protocol might have been taken over.
You first attempted it while we were still all chained up in the room with no way of escaping.
Preservation of information, destruction of all precious needs to be destroyed so enemy does not gain information. Absolute destruction is required.
Yeah, well, unfortunately...
I don't remember anything after that went out.
I'm letting you know. Morgan has every right to be pissed at us. She died. And she was saved, thankfully, this time. But there may not be a next time that she can be. Or me. Or Nyoka. Or yourself. You're not just a killing machine anymore. You're off the line. You're just as much a person as any one of us.
I'm obsolete.
So am I. Why do you think I'm not in the war anymore? But you know what I still have? My life. And I'll be damned if I'm going to give that up for no reason.
Do I truly have any choice, though? If anything, what you've told me just proves to anything that I really don't have a free will.
It's something we can work on together. I think as a former soldier myself, I can help you break out of your binds of that. But please, don't initiate a combat that is unnecessary. Next time, one of us might not walk away from it.
I value your opinion, so I'll try to keep this in my memory banks. I'm now actually going to go into a recharge state.
Get some rest. We all have some thinking and things we need to work on right now.
All right. So when you guys are done talking and you go into your separate rooms, the rest of the night is going to pass pretty uneventfully. It is the... Well, actually, this is weird. So...
That's never a good start to a sentence.
I blame Group B.
Yeah, dawn is going to come a lot earlier than you guys thought it was, because you jumped to the other side of the world. So you guys actually sleep into the afternoon, and it is the 23rd of Priestess, when you all wake up, Lucilith is going to have a good stretch, stepping out of his dorm, or stepping out of his room, and say, whew, that is a cot that could definitely use a couple mendings. With a great smile on his face, he's going to be looking at each of you and say, my friends, I do have to say, I did not think I would ever draw the breath of fresh air again once I was caught by the Gaiori, but a second chance to right our wrongs? This is spectacular indeed. I'm going to go check us out. And he begins walking
follow?
down. Yeah, he looks back at you and he's going to say, I'm not your, I'm not a I'm not your dungeon keeper. And he smiles between each of you, and then he's going to continue walking out.
But I meant, like, are you coming back for us? Or do we need to go with you because you're going to teleport us home?
He's gonna remember, and it's like, oh yeah, you are coming with me. Well, I was going to do it from a private confines, but if you want to come with me, we can leave right from a courtyard. These are all Arcanists. I'm sure they have no qualms about the issue.
As long as it gets done.
He gestures down the hallway to the staircase leading out of this institute or old educational building. Does the whole party follow him?
Well, Morgan does.
I guess we follow Morgan.
Is Nyoka there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he would.
All right. So he's going to check out. He's going to check out at the Risen office in this part of the Anelian ward. Telling each of them, or telling them that each of you will be leaving, and he's going to head outside and start. Well, he's going to start scribbling a teleportation circle there on the side of the office, and the Risen member is going to stand up and say, "Sir, you have to request an alcove. You have to request an alcove in the Balsam Sanctum to do that. You can't. It's not legal to Sir, please." And Lucilith is going to say, "I'm sorry, my ears are a little old. I can't quite hear you." As he continues drawing his teleportation circle. And she is going to stand up and say, "I have to go get the Kalkin." And she's going to leave the office, and before she even gets back, he's going to have the circle finish. Lucilith activates the teleportation circle. Anyone who saw the sigil, I will allow you a intelligence check to try and commit it to memory if you want to. Otherwise, the sigil, the chalks.
What would be would it be a history check, an int save?
No, an intelligence check to try and remember the scene.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what I should roll. I have to ask specifically because, if it's an int save, that's a better roll.
No, it's an
histories.
It's an ability check of you're trying to do something.
Well, that went well.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, you guys saw the sigil, but once again, Lucilith was telling you guys about how precise these things need to be. There's a couple angles and curves here that you don't think you're going to be able to properly replicate, but Milani could probably generally describe it to somebody. Anyways, he activates the sigil. The portal opens on the floor, and he steps through.
I follow.
I guess we're going. Not like we're coming back. We're definitely wanted criminals after this.
Milani goes through.
Yeah, Nyoka goes through.
Wanted criminals. No, you'd just be fine for using what is it? Evocation magic and an improper area, or conjuration magic. There you go.
Just our new friend. He's the one that actually did the magic.
Yeah, it's Lucilith's fault. He doesn't
Therefore,
live here.
Lucilith should pay. Bye.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't care because we don't know what laws are.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, he is a rogue officer or he's a lone agent, spellslinger from the Clutch, along with other people from the Clutch. It's like, sir, there's proper things you hit, and it's like, sorry, I don't do that. Bye. It's not in my
Nerdle!
Sorry, we don't do laws here.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, you want me to fill out a permit to teleport so you guys can closely regulate who's coming into your university for the safety of your students? Please. He teleported to us.
I walk in, gun in hand.
Yeah, while infected with the blight. Anyways, okay. So, the party. You guys are all teleported, across
We
the
are
world
setting
again.
amazing examples.
Hey! Where are we now?
Who even knows? Who
Like-
even knows?
I was about to say, if he's from Beechwood Retreat, we're somewhere in there, so...
We could have been in the Mave. You don't know.
There was a high chance he could have taken you guys to the Mave, but if he takes you to the Mave, that means he has to, still find a way back to the mainland. Alright, let's see. I don't need my, Ililnagai notes, and I'll pull out my Beechwood Retreat notes. Alright, so,
Did Morgan leave a note for Roman to find later?
What would I give a shit about some fucking rugged sailor? Morgan would be 8 times more interested in Effie.
alright, so,
Should we find our friend Cuker?
you...
What good is that bitch?
You all are teleported into a part of Beechwood Retreat. You don't know exactly where you're at, but in the distance to the east, you can see the abandoned Temple of the Spoken Wills. Although scorched with burn marks, most of the stonework still stands. You are somewhere in the Yanyith.
I would say if we didn't have other business to attend to right now, we could pay our other friend a visit while we're here.
You have to be far more specific. Do you mean Ascara?
Yes, the one that tried to set us all on fire.
Yeah, well, she's apparently a Gaiori. And what did I say yesterday? They all have to die.
Fair point. Just
I
add her
like
to
that
the...
plan. I like killing everyone plan.
Lucilith, who is casually strolling out of this room, is going to freeze in his steps and say, "Excuse me, did you just say Isara, the gangster leader of this side of town, is a member of the Gaiori?"
Yes, but you didn't hear it from me.
He's going to blink several times and say, "Well then, how did you stumble upon such a curious piece of information, and are you sure that it's true?"
She tried to set us on fire, and the other Gaioris mentioned it.
Why are we talking to this random nobody?
Lucilith is a world-renowned street performer. You give celebrities their due.
He's the one that saved us.
Oh, I thought this was someone else. Never mind.
I trust I trust who I got the information from.
We got it from her. Actually shot us.
But yes, they did have a penchant for fire, and that is a Gaiori calling card. But that's not the only information I have. I have a criminal contact who seemed very sure of it, but considered it information that shouldn't be tracked back to her. Given my experience with the Gaiori recently, I can see why she'd be hesitant.
He's going to nod and say, "Well, I can assure you the goal of my mission is to cripple the Gaiori. If you could give me the name of your contact, I could double-check this information just to be certain."
I don't feel
How loyal
comfortable.
are we to her? Like, character question. Like, player question. How loyal are we to her?
Well, I mean, you guys
I mean-
did cost her a bunch of money.
Yes, in the incident where we found out about this person being a Gaiori.
Mhm.
And we cost her that money. Why, kids? Because we're aggressive idiots.
I have no idea what
Because-
you're talking about.
I'm sensing a theme.
Because I didn't realize Smite couldn't be non-lethal.
And no, I'm sticking with the aggressive idiots part. That could be a thing. Mostly it was Nyoka that started that one. You wouldn't have to worry about the context of smite and non-lethal damage if Nyoka didn't cold cock Willis.
Oh, that's true.
He be death.
But anyway.
You know, like,
Hey, you know who
I
else
mean, if
beat
you want the
Death
question-
Nagori?
I mean, if you want the answer is this. I don't know how loyal you are. You guys are mostly mean to Cougar. And it's not like you guys ever listen to me when I say don't blurt out things.
Like our contact's name? Like you
Yeah.
did just
like
now?
you just did.
No,
I don't think that was in
all
character.
that was all out of character.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, I thought we were actually having this conversation.
But yeah.
No, he was
I don't feel,
addressing your question from out of question. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, I don't feel comfortable disclosing that. I owe that person quite a bit of money related to how I obtained that information.
And out of character, quit being mean to Nyoka. He did it to save you.
Mhm.
Just
And
just Brandon is evil. That's all.
That's fair. And when you say that, he's going to nod and say, well, the matter is worth investigating. We do have a healthy amount of scribes planted in this region, or in this neighborhood, so having her lurking about does not make me feel comfortable.
Well, you know, if you need somebody to take care of that, we're cheap and effective.
we already have a bone to pick, so
Nyoka goes, we're not that cheap.
We are. It's because if you want them alive, well, you'll have to, you know, pay the discount because they'll kill them.
So putting a hand on the door leading out of this room. This room is a completely black, or not black. It's very dark. There's a single torch lit in it, and it's about 15 feet in diameter, with the teleportation circle in the center of the room, and just like well-crafted stonework all the way around the room, and this large wooden door on the far side of the room. That's all that's in here. Putting a hand on the door. Lucilith is going to say, just let me do the talking out here and we'll be on our way.
I mean, I trust you to do the talking more than anybody else I'm with right now.
you should have more confidence in yourself.
Yeah, Lucilith is going to say, confidence is what makes a good agent. And he's going to step out of the room. If you guys follow behind him, you can see you're in a what seems to be a bookstore, or at least the storeroom of one. There are several people working back here, and you see an elven woman, really weird looking elven woman, of man stacking books on a shelf, and another elf of stacking them in a chest, preparing to move it. As Lucilith steps out of the the teleportation room, he's going to look at each of them, and they're all going to be awestruck. And the woman is going to be the first one to speak up and say, Lucilith, you've been dark for days. And the human's going to step forward and say, you know you're supposed to send a sending before you just teleport to one of our locations. We have to report this. And Lucilith's going to say, nonsense. How's Kalia doing? They're all going to point to the party and say, and who are these people? We can't just discuss business in front of them. He's going to say, they're contacts related to the job I'm on. And the librarians are all going to kind of like calm down a little bit and say Kalia's holding her position atop or at the Master of Magic side. If there is somebody to take his place in any potential fall, so far it's leaning toward to be her. And he's going to say, good, 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 good. Working on crippling the Gyori, that's going great. And they're going to say, well, you should hurry. Delia sent her sister away, but we hear she's due back in a few days. When their numbers are strong, that's always when those imperialists get get fire crazed. Lucilith is going to say, well, don't mind us, and do keep an eye on who else is coming through that circle. Perhaps more wards in place as for warnings. Anyways, we're just on our way out, and Lucilith is going to gesture for the party. And he's going to step by these people into the bookshop.
What have we gotten ourselves into?
Some espionage bullshit.
We got ourselves into a Silver Sigil clan meeting.
Yay! Suck it, Aryea. Pleasure meeting all of you.
They're each gonna like nod cordially, and I believe one of them would scowl. Oh god, you guys actually stumbled into the nicest members of the sigil. Yeah, so as you say, pleasure meeting all of you. They're all going to have kind of like that retail smile of like, oh, of course. Tilting their heads a little bit as they pick up the books they dropped and continue sorting this back room.
Have a good day.
Walking out into the next room, the person manning this shop, she's going to step around. She's going to step around her counter, and through these shelves as she sees Lucilith come out, and say, "You're alive?" Lucilith is going to say, "Of course."
Morgan's gonna roll her eyes.
Your teammates don't have a lot of confidence in your survivability, apparently, Lucilith.
I mean, to be fair, he has been dark for a couple days. They probably have a schedule to keep.
And she is, the woman is going to say teammate, hardly.
Friend? Acquaintance?
Keep going.
Mortal enemy?
A one-night stand that ended very badly.
Wife.
So, both of those are the same answer.
Yeah.
Actually, I actually know that's terminology.
Nyoka's gonna say, "Old man, you're as bad as we are."
She's going to say, he rests a step among exile at this bookshop. And he's going to say, hey, you guys know that performance gig that I'm on?
Yes.
The one you met me on? Yeah. That, if it goes well, I may get invited to perform more often.
We couldn't be happier for you.
And she's going to say, no need for performers and tricksters no need for performers and tricksters within our ranks here. We have a simple task to do, and everything is set forward in a consistent order that you refuse to abide by. He is going to look at her and shrug and say, never had much interest in books. Anyways, I've got to be going to, where is that? Lockliel? Yes.
How fast did you finish?
How fast did you finish what?
Never mind.
XJ, again, I want to know how you know these terminologies.
I had a very active commander.
Fair enough.
As soon as you guys get outside, Lucilith is going to exhale and say, "Whew, that's why I don't like a partner. They all they do is just give you that passive-aggressive sass."
I feel a lot of eyes right now.
I was about to say, Morgan, was that like staring in a mirror for a moment?
A lot of passive-aggressive sass. I feel an emotion right now.
Lucilith is going to say, "Well, anyways, I'm going to head to your town. I'll find that sigil, and I'll get it dispelled."
No.
Do you know where to look?
We'll head to our town, and we will find the sigil to dispel it.
Look, we live there. It's not like we're not going to the same place. Do you even know where to look?
Though it's probably going to be...
I need to stress the amount of revenge I need to enact.
It will probably be awkward walking through town if they're still there and they see us.
And he's going to say, "You speak as if you have intentions of fighting the Gaiori. Please, what we need to do doesn't even involve fighting. We dispel the circle and their plans crumble."
Yes, you see, I'm fine with that. And we can handle that first. And you don't have to join for the other bit. The other bit's personal.
They killed one of my friends. And then
They locked us
taunted...
in a cage, they tortured us. I almost blew up. I feel like I want some violence.
They killed one of my friends and then taunted me with it.
Lucilith is, like, you say that, and, you know, he's trying to have the empathy to, like, connect with you, and you see him just, like, having this, like, straight face before, like, once you're finished, he nods and says, "My friend, have you lived in the clutch very long? Friends die every day."
I'm a former soldier. I watched my friends die in front of me. But they were giving their lives to try to do good for once. This man was killed because they didn't like him. They killed him because it was easier for them to do their plans this way. Chet was not a bad man. He did nothing but help people. The fact that they would do something to that regard without any remorse, even in the clutch, is not something I will forgive. Everyone has their place in the hierarchy, and theirs is underneath my feet as corpses.
Morgan's gonna roll her eyes.
I really like angry Milani. This is like, I'm behind you 100%, brother. Let's go make some bodies.
Alright, so give me 1 second. Because he would say something, but I just need to make sure.
Milani's usually mostly jovial and, or not carefree, but just a chill kind of person. He is pissed right now.
Alright, great. So, he is, like, as you give him the speech, he's gonna nod and say, alright, that's, all fine and dandy. I'll make sure the, job gets done, and you guys can have whatever revenge it is you seek, but don't expect me to be there to bail you out. But I did, intend initially for fighting some Gaiori while I was inside of their, their fortress.
We're going there to help you with that, because nothing's a bigger slap in the face than fucking over the plans they've worked so hard for in one fell swoop.
We tear down everything they've built, and then we kill them.
Of course, that's the job. I don't expect you to join us in the revenge.
Lucilith has been digging through his pack as he's been talking, and he is going to pull out something and hand it to Milani and say, "Can you read that?"
What is it?
Looking at it, it looks like absolute gibberish to Milani. It's a spell scroll of sorts, but he cannot understand the incantation or the somatic components it's instructing.
That's because it's not in your spell list.
Unfortunately, I cannot.
Can Morgan?
Yeah, Morgan looks over Milani's shoulder. She does recognize it. It is a spell of protection from energy.
Oh.
Ooh.
Neat. Oh.
Yeah.
That seems handy.
Yeah, if Milani says he can't recognize it, though, he's going to be like, yoink! No, I'm kidding. Yeah, Morgan can recognize it. He'll gesture to Morgan and say...
Milani will hand it over.
Yeah, and he'll say, I plan to tangle with a few of their fire-crazed zealots, but in the end, I didn't need that. I took down 3 on my own before I was captured.
You sure you don't want to help?
We took down 2 multiple times.
And he is going to nod and say, no, rotting away in a dungeon once is enough for me. Besides, once this is done, I'm going to be in the good graces of my organization.
Your fellow performers?
He nods.
Well, it's a couple hours.
Like I said, we're going to the same place regardless. You know, we might as well escort you and point you in the right direction. Besides, you might end up needing backup.
Not to mention part of the area was still contaminated, so having someone like me and Morgan to help anyone, or to help you if you get infected again, not a bad idea.
Out of character, we know that there are, at least on the record, 5 Gaiori that went to Lochleil?
Yes.
Okay.
2 of them we've never seen, so figure they're probably at the sigil.
Well, no, that's I wanted to mention that, but I needed to confirm that that wasn't meta knowledge. Like, Morgan actually knows that.
Yeah. Alright. Oh, were you going to say something else?
Yeah, I was gonna mention that it's just like, and you might need backup. From what I know, there's supposed to be 5 of them? I only saw 3 in the heal house. Take a guess where the other 2 might be.
Lucilith is going to, he's going to pull out a coin. Going to hand it towards Morgan. And then flick it into the air, catch it, twirl it between his fingers a couple times, and he's doing this, as you guys are walking down the road. And he's going to say, there is a reason they send me out on missions alone. And this particular one suited my skill set.
Yeah, well, go ahead, sorry.
When it comes to dexterity or being on scene, that is where my performances flourish.
Yeah, well, just so you know, one of the ones that we did see... Well, they're not just a fire-flinging cleric. Their skill set is closer attuned to mine, so... they're quite a bit stronger than the rest.
I know.
Okay.
That one's Dolilla, right? Or Delilla?
Delia. Delia's in your town. Delia is the one in charge of the Gaiori in this region.
Yes, the tough one was Delia.
I will say, Morgan, the halberd of hers might make for an interesting mantelpiece.
It'd be a nice prize.
We'll come to it when we come to it.
Nyoka more interested in her blood. I want to be smelling it tonight.
I call her spinal column.
Well, it's a couple-hour journey from here, so shall we?
We've been walking.
Yeah, and I can walk with haste. Alright, so guys are going to be leaving Beechwood Retreat and on the road towards Lochliel. As you... oh man, I've got to roll you something for 2 more groups.
Weather?
Yeah, I do actually have to roll the weather. So, you guys... God, that's awful.
Uh-oh.
Alright, so...
Oh, we're getting jumped.
Nothing goes right for us. Ever.
I've gotten used to it.
The as you guys are leaving the Yanyeth, 40 people. No, I'm kidding. As you guys are leaving the Yanyeth, you're going to be moving. You're going to be moving westward, and people, of course, a few people are going to recognize you. But only one of them is going to actually stand up and stop you.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, as they do, you guys aren't going to recognize this figure. But he's going to say, I remember your faces from the night at the temple. You are...
What temple?
And he points to the distance and says...
Oh, this is the dude that... what's his face bribed?
No, it's not that person.
There's a lot of people that night.
Yeah.
Oh shit! This is one of that bitch's men.
Yeah, let Brandon finish.
Sorry.
I mean, he could be the guy we saved.
And he's gonna say, Asara's been looking for Willis. You got any juicy info on where he is? Done disappeared on us, but we know he's still alive. Saw him walking around that night. You guys are walking too, so that means you all lived.
Well, you're half right.
Oh, we killed Willis.
He died. We handed his body over to people we probably shouldn't have. And your guess is as good as ours is where he is.
What you talking about, shouldn't have? We got money from that.
Do you remember who?
We had... Well, wait, no. We went to the... So I had a character. We went to the Tower of Magic. The bounty was from the Galena Maeve. But the Gaiori is the ones that had to res Willis.
Yep.
And Asar, or he's gonna say Asara knows he's alive. She's got a good gut feeling about these things.
Oh, I imagine she does, given that she works for the people that resurrected him.
He's gonna...
No, we're not keeping this secret. We're just...
Yeah. He's gonna tilt his head and say, she's part of the Gaiori?
You didn't hear it from me.
Wow, for her
I'll find a
being
new
your
line of work
boss.
soon.
For her being your boss, she doesn't tell you guys shit.
Right?
And he's gonna
She
say,
must not trust you at all.
I tell my people too much sometimes.
Honestly, too much. We don't deserve it, but we appreciate it.
he says, well, hierarchy be damned.
Well,
I might be a part of a good old Asuith soon.
See, things are looking up for you. But I haven't seen Willis.
way to keep positive.
I haven't seen Willis since that night. We turned him in dead. I got paid for it, and then I let them figure out if he was going to come back to life. Didn't even wait to see if it worked.
And he's going to pull a dagger on Morgan and say, swear it on your life.
Nyoka's gonna.
Do we really want to do this? Like,
Morgan's gonna put a hand up, like, yeah.
like swords are coming out.
I already told you who your boss works for. Do you think I have a reason to lie about seeing Willis? Remember, I killed him.
And he's gonna say, well, me and a couple of the other throwers are gonna go and take and try and rat him out tonight. You want to come along? Bet you got a good old bone to pick with him.
You know, it's a relatively small bone on the pile of bones we're going to be picking throughout the month. So, thanks, but no thanks.
We are awfully busy today. As tempting as that does sound. We have other work we have to attend to.
He's gonna kind of like nod, just a couple of them of just, and it's kind of like not an aggressive nod, like he's in your face nodding, but kind of like, oh yeah, I'm agreeing to you, but he's got a scowl on his face, and it's more of kind of like an assurance. And he puts away the dagger, like making eye contact the whole time with Morgan. And he's gonna say, you ever back in the Yanya, come see us sometime. We'll be watching.
With
we'll see
pleasure.
Eventually. Maybe sooner than they think. Should we take his measurement now for the coffin, or we just want to put him on the pile?
You guys,
Is that all?
Yeah, I mean, you guys can walk by him. He's stepped back out of your way. But his eyes are definitely following, like, you guys as you walk away.
I gotta say, Naoka, I'm very proud of you. You managed to hold back from breaking someone's face today.
Well, the boss said to. And besides, I could have thrown him halfway across the harbor. He's no threat.
Morgan rolls her eyes.
Don't worry, I'm sure we'll see him again.
I'm sure when we do the raid, we'll probably get to kill him.
No, we'll just have a very cordial business meeting, because apparently we have a common goal of wanting to kill Willis. We'll just kill them in the process.
Yeah, that's the problem, is they were some of the ones that fucking fire at us.
I was about to say, do we want to do some poetic justice and buy some alchemy fire for our
one thing at a time?
Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I assumed we were already just walking away.
Yeah. All right. So I've rolled 3 dice, and your second encounter happens a couple hours later on the road outside of Beechwood Retreat. You guys are probably an hour and a half from Beechwood Retreat when you see the I guess probably one of the strangest sights you've seen in a long time. XJ is on the road walking towards you. He's got a large backpack on, is what it looks like.
Sorry, was I not walking with the group?
No, XJ is walking with the group, but you guys also see XJ walking towards you. And he's got a large, like, it looks like he's got this huge sack on his back. As you get closer, it's going to become very apparent. It's going to be very apparent that that's not a sack on his back. Like, it's got, like, the things that's dangling off the side of it that you thought were either, like, ropes or pots or pans that, adventurers would be, like, carrying, are actually arms and legs. And as this person gets even closer to you, like passing by, within vision range, you're gonna know this isn't, or you're gonna become very aware that this isn't XJ. Like, it is some sort of Warforged that looks almost exactly like him, except for the fact it has a pink wig on. And I mean, it's very apparent it's a wig. It's a very nice wig, but Warforged don't grow hair. And as this person gets closer, it's going to like see you guys and get excited and start running. XJ notices on its chassis XK33. You
For the love of God, Morgan, he's multiplying.
I told you I was manufactured, but he was not part of my company. I swear.
No, XK33 was part of your company. He's
God damn it!
It's like the line. It's like they're multiplying. I'm one of 5.
They're multiplying. I'm one of 5,000, guys. I was manufactured.
And also, like I said, Morgan comes from a large family. Like, this is cool. There's one more out there. Whatever.
So you said it was XK39?
XK33.
33. Right, 1 second. I'm writing this down in the notes.
Excitedly, this thing runs over to you guys, and it's going to, inspect XJ up and down and say, oh my god, Unit 43, I think that's XJ's number?
No, it's in 29.
29, yeah.
XJ 29.
Okay. Yeah, and he's going to, look at your chest and say, Unit 29, it's been forever! So how have you been using your discharge?
Okay, and I'm gonna...
How have you been using your discharge?
And he is going to... And the one other thing I forgot to say as he gets closer, he smells awful. Horrific.
Well, I'd imagine.
I don't have a nose.
Yeah.
He has a sack of people parts.
Well, it's
Frankenstein Legos.
Well, this is... So as you say that, he tilts his backpack towards you, and it is not a sack of people. It is a person strapped to his back. They are very dead, and he is going to say, "Oh, it's been great. We saw the Earth fire on our own accord. This is my friend Jace. He looks horrifically sun-bleached."
Your friend's dead.
Is he referring to the body on his back?
And he's gonna shake his head and say, "No, he's sleeping. Humans do that."
You're
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Morgan? I can't. I'm done. Molly just starts walking.
I happen to find a new unit. A bit fleshier unit, but a new unit to keep myself busy. How have you been? Where have you traveled to?
He's gonna nod and say, "I've got this great thing now. Carrie." And he has this excited look on his face and says, "That's my name. I call myself that."
You don't refer to your serial number.
And he's going to point to the K and say, Jace made it back when he was awake, but he hasn't been awake in a couple weeks.
Humans don't sleep that long.
Where did you meet Jace? Out of curiosity. Please don't be for the plague lights. Please don't be from the plague lights.
No. He's gonna say, well, after they broke apart our unit, I was looking for jobs in Swordhaven, and Jace needed a guide to the Earthfire, so I'm just like, hey, I'll take you. And I did. And we saw it. Well, I saw it.
Player question, what is the Earthfire?
XJ would have intimate knowledge of this as kind of like as kind of like as like an ambiguous thing. If you think about how America wages war for oil, the Earthfire would be kind of like the same thing for Heimsdale, of like everything you guys did in the desert, fighting people in the Clutch, fighting people in the Darkened Vale, fighting the Archblight.
Oh, I got it. This is where we brought our. This is where we got our We brought our freedom for.
Yeah, was all to control the lands around the Earthfire. XJ's never seen it, but you know everything you did was to control the region around the Earthfire. That said, you know, like a Warforged going to see the Earthfire, it's like, you remember that thing we were created to fight for? I saw it. I saw it with my own eyes, or with my own vision calibrator, our own
like
vision
my
system.
own like visual sensors.
Yeah.
That's good. Personally, I never really cared to see the thing we all died over, but
and he's gonna say, "This is just great. What do you call it? Life? I love it." And he's gonna say, "I thought I'd take Jace to see something in Beechwood Retreat. Never been there myself, but heard it's quite the party."
Jace really looks like he could use like a better place to nap. Maybe you should take him. There's this great hotel in Beechwood. It's called the Morgue, and you should check it out. All right, they'll get him a very nice bed.
He's gonna pull out a journal and start writing, and he's gonna say, "Look, I learned how to write. It's a travel guide. I can just walk wherever I want now. Isn't that fun?" And he's gonna say,
XJ
"It's the
is going to
Morgue?"
look at. Do you mind if I see his travel guide?
Yeah. Looking at his travel guide, it is not very impressive. I mean, it's got things on it like lake, big tree, place with lots of people, and it's just like the most blank descriptions of place where now he's scribbled, you know, morgue retreat.
Morgue retreat.
And he's going to, I mean,
I'll go ahead and give it back to him.
Yeah.
Well, it was good catching up with you, XK, or I mean Carrie. Fuck it. But I'm actually on a job right now, and I am in a hurry. So you know, it was good running into you.
He's going to gesture towards Morgan and say, so Jace hasn't been as chatty as he usually is lately. Since you've got so many humans, could I have this one?
I'm not human.
Oh, she's the commander, actually.
Oh,
I'm also not
he
human.
salutes to Morgan. Yeah, when Morgan says, I'm not human, he's gonna just, like, after he salutes with his other hand, just kind of like, I'm gonna roll a percentage die. Above 50%, it is appropriate. Below 50%, it is inappropriate. He
it's a goblin!
He pokes Morgan's chest and says, "You're squishy like a human."
Well,
Still saluting with the other
I'm
hand.
gonna grab Carrie by the shoulder and like start walking away. Like,
no, it's like I'm not gonna get violent. It's just I don't. It's like I don't know how to explain it because
that's okay.
You have to sit there and go. I'm like, I have human parents, but
my parents are human, but I'm not human because humans aren't blue. It's like, oh, okay, so you're blue human.
Very strange race of human, but she's very capable. Anyway, we are in a hurry. It was great seeing you, Carrie, but we really need to get. I'm like starting to push him down the road. We really need to get going.
Okay, and he's gonna say, I'm gonna be staying at the morgue. Write me, I'll come visit.
Yep. And it's like actually turns around and like continues walking, like looking over his shoulder, and it's like, get going.
Were you stupider at one point? Is this
you know?
are you learned?
I have question for you. Was I like that? Please say no.
No. All he did was kill people. Like that was your primary purpose.
That was my primary purpose.
Yeah, they discharged you guys and said, this unit's not working out. You guys still have souls. The Terrai are feasting off of you. We can't use Warforge anymore. And then just let you go. And, without direction, some people were like, well, I just need to find purpose. And then without direction, others were just like, oh, God, freedom. This is wonderful.
I see he took the other path.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing is, all in all, he seems nice. It's just, somebody really needs to tell him that Chase is dead.
I don't think he'd believe you, even if you told him. Listen, we're Juggernaut units. Intelligence was not the first priority. They mostly spent the really expensive circuitry to the mage units, which is why they were a lot more valuable.
Millennial will throw his arm over XJ. Go to him. See, I told you you were a living being. You were even embarrassed by your own family.
I don't want to have any relations with him. I'm kind of hoping he gets arrested.
What crime did he commit? There aren't crimes!
It's like, he's carrying around a body! I know we do that all the time, but like, that thing's clearly been on for way too long.
Nyoka is like, we could have hired him for cheap.
I don't think you'd want him. I mean, I don't want him. Like, I don't know what this feeling is, but I never want to see him again.
Shame. It's shame because you see where you come from. If you want to
that I could have ended up like that, I'm so glad that you found me. It scares me.
Nyoka's gonna look at XJ, and he's going to say, then you feel like Nyoka most of the time when he sees you.
Ow.
And just walks off.
It's like, I have another feeling and I'm not sure how to process this. Error 404.
Welcome to being alive. Now you know
what is being alive? What is my purpose?
Don't have a fucking existential crisis on me on the road. Besides, family's not that bad.
It gets worse than that?
No, that's a pretty low bar. You know, not everybody can have great siblings.
God, no, like...
Mind you, it took my parents 2 tries to give me one, but...
Like, if we have to run into someone of my unit, I would much rather it be, ZK-42. He was cool. He was a mage unit. He liked to burn things.
What could... Altaspot? I'm just bummed it couldn't have been Lester. We could have ran into Lester.
we still can. We have a third encounter.
Oh god, is it Lester?
No. If only. It's like, Morgan, I came to visit you, but some people said you died at the healing house, so I was just gonna head home.
You know, I had to tell Regan. She'd be sad. That's it.
Morgan has so many bitches.
No, Regan's my...
Those are family.
Lester's my... Lester, in this conversation, Lester's my brother, Regan is my twin sister.
Oh god, there's a second of you?
Yes, see, like, that weirdness that you just had, where it was like, it looks like XJ, but it isn't XJ, there's another physical Morgan out there.
But from what she said, the other one's a lot nicer.
I don't like this.
I don't know how I feel about this.
I really don't want to run into my old company anymore. Like, you know, I always thought that, you know, running into another one out in the wild, like, it would be like the old times, but no, he's changed.
The old
for the worse.
The old times involved murder.
And they were great.
Yeah, and you should have felt at home. He had a body on his back.
It was the hair. It was the hair.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest you could get a wig, you know, so they don't recognize you.
No, it was the hair that disturbed me the most. Like, what convinced him?
He watches a lot of Markiplier.
Do you want to go back and ask him?
No! I want to get as many meters away from him as physically possible.
Wait, so we have a third encounter? We need to get to this third encounter.
Let's forget XJ's embarrassment and move on.
Look, everybody's embarrassed by their family at one point or another. Remember, Morgan is one of 5.
Yeah, nobody said anything about a third encounter. I just said I rolled 3 sets of die.
Oh, we misinterpret this.
You guys are fine. Otherwise, you spend the rest of the day traveling. That gets you back to Beechwood Retreat at sunrise.
You mean Lockleal?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Lockleal at sunrise. And congratulations, 23rd Father.
Wait, what about a father?
Say it again.
What about a father?
Oh, I'm
I
sorry,
have
it's the
one.
23rd of Priestess.
Is it the 24th?
No, you guys, the sun dawns in Ililnagai, and then you guys were there for sunrise, teleported to Beechwood Retreat, and then walked from Beechwood Retreat back to Lockleal, and so it's just
Time zones are silly.
yeah. It's
Shout
been
out to
a
Wiz.
Really weird long day.
I'm glad I don't actually need sleep, and I just need to recharge every now and then.
All right, so in Lockleal, at the city gate, Lucilith is going to say he's going to kind of be looking over the town and say, this isn't even on the maps. How interesting.
Is it even safe to return to the guild hall? Did they know where we were?
Look, if they want to attack me on my turf, I will hurt them. I'll hurt them anyway.
Do you think Geraldin's been alright since our absence?
I forgot about Geraldin. Hey,
It was Geraldin?
he's fine.
How did you forget Geraldin? He was on a mission with you when you came back to town.
It's been a while since he's been active.
So we're at the, oh. Yeah.
You're at the city gate, coming in from right there to that gate.
I don't think I like this gate. I feel like that gate's too close.
Well, the heel house is on the other side of town, I believe, by the fighting pits is where I said that was, and then your guild house is right here.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, the things that you guys know about the Steel Cabal are on the eastern part of the town. Fighting pits on the western part of town. The White Cloaks just bought the center part of town, and the docks are in disarray.
Everybody watching the gates?
No, nobody's watching the gates. Nobody normally watches the gates. The only time these gates are closed is, when the Steel Cabal orders it, or there's a huge threat threatening the town. It's nobody's job to watch the gates.
I just wasn't sure. I know that a couple doofuses were watching the gates by the docks, but that's because it's a apocalyptic hellhole.
Yeah. Lucilith is going to say, well, I'm going to go meet the local magistrate. If you could just point me in their direction.
You're
I
funny.
was like, do we have a magistrate? We don't have a magistrate, do we?
We don't have a town leader.
Well,
Closest thing would be
I don't know about that. I
the
have.
closest thing would be the Steel Cabal.
Rain or Nihilest would be the closest I think we have to a leader.
We ought to be telling them about Mata.
I'm not sure where Rain is. She went in with us when we fought. She wasn't in any of the cages. Besides, Nihilest is the better option. I wouldn't necessarily call her a magistrate, but she works with the White Cloaks. You would know about the portal.
Plus, she'd probably want to know if someone's using her old stomping grounds as an apocalypse bringer.
So we'd likely want to go to the White Cloaks, the closest we have to a magistrate.
All right. Heading into the center of the town, the Windboro. This would be its first day in true operation. You know, you guys, this is going to be a very interesting sight here. There's the sound of hammers ringing, spikes being dug into the ground, tents, or not tents, but kind of awnings being pulled taut as a small marketplace of sorts is setting up in the center courtyard here between these buildings. Overseeing all of this is he's dead. Well, that guy's dead too.
This is a corpse.
Idolus, be one of the last living upper class members. Overseeing all of this, nope, he's dead. I remember when he died. Is going to be Inu. She's the next highest ranking member. And by overseeing all of this, I mean they have stacked 4 crates for her near the well. And she has a ledger in hand, and she is shouting at servants and lower ranking members as they're moving stuff when they are moving it out of place. As you guys step into the alleyway leading to this courtyard, she's going to notice you and wave frantically for you to come over.
Hi, Inu.
Yeah, when you get close, she's gonna gesture around her and say, "We're back on our feet." Nihilest repurposed 2 of the boats that we have remaining, importing exotic goods. Gonna set up a marketplace right in the center of the town. With any luck, we could get this place as a small bazaar going.
Well, that certainly sounds nice. Where is Nihilest?
Oh, she's going to Inu is going to, like, you're gonna see like all of this happiness that she had for you just kind of pale, and you know, her expression just fades away, and she says she's not happy right now. And she points to what was an inn in this area, or you know, it was the large boarding building that Morgan and Milani cleaned, and she's gonna say, we've set her up an office up there, but we lost 2 more boats off the coast. And, well, enter at your own risk.
With what I've been through in the last 2 days, she doesn't scare me.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I have a feeling we know why they're losing boats?
We're a direct cause of it?
Yeah, we're direct cause of it.
The fun of playing both sides.
Jackal out of character. We basically copied down all the shipping routes of the white cloaks and gave them to a pirate. So do the math.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a while ago.
Yeah, if you guys want to leave Inu, you can. Just, you know, at this standstill, Inu would just... There's this heavy moment. You guys are looking at her. She's looking back at you. And this is... Hey! We need all of the bazaars facing northward. Or all of the trading stalls facing northward. We want traffic to flow through here, guys. Not get clogged. Come on! And then she looks back at you guys. And says, yeah, sorry about that. If you'd like, I can put in a word with her at tonight's leadership meeting.
I'll go bother her now. If she's sour now, she'll be sour later. Besides, that won't help regardless. She doesn't like me.
I thought you two were on better terms now.
Well, you know, cordial doesn't exactly mean, you know, polite. Well, no, exactly what it means.
Actually, I don't think that word means what you think it means.
I was about to say that too. Look, I don't think we're on the kind of terms where, you know, I'll brighten her day. I just may not make it worse anymore.
So, I'm going to start pointing out stuff because I feel like Morgan would be looking for it more often. The Gaiori have been moving through your town before, and it was just like, there's so many strange mercenaries in your town that just seeing the odd cleric going, or rather, you know, the odd person with like a hierarchy holy symbol going northwards would just be like, okay, whatever. Just like your town is just a bunch of eclectic different mercenary guilds that are just like relying off of each other. But you know, now that, you know, Morgan's had the throw-in with what she's had, just in the distance, like the corner of her eye, through an alleyway, Morgan sees a Gaiori cleric heading north. Just passing through, not passing through the alley, just, you know, walking down the street, and it catches.
The real question is, did he notice us?
No. Well, not, at least not from what Morgan noticed.
And he's going north, but north would be towards the... I saw a Gaiori cleric heading north. We could just follow him.
Yeah, you guys are in the center courtyard there.
Yes, because I'm the stealthy unit. That's what I do.
I do have a way to make us a little stealthier.
Lucilith, it's your mission and you're the stealthy one.
I'm sorry?
Lucilith is with us, right?
Yeah, he is with you. Lucilith is going to notice the cleric and say, I'd much rather talk to this my less individual and get a lay of the land of the city before I go sneaking around.
That's perfectly reasonable. Then we'll continue with that course.
I feel like we all would be on the lookout for Kaigori.
Yeah, I'm just telling you what you see on your passive perception.
But I have the best passive perception.
Like, they're not hiding in the town, is what I'm trying to point out.
So, yeah, we'll go.
Brandon, do we recognize, is he one of the five, or is he somebody that we don't know?
Morgan doesn't recognize her.
Okay.
Alright,
so we haven't seen two of the five, so...
Yeah. Heading to... Well, actually, I guess Morgan would recognize this person, not as a member of the Gaiori, as, like, now that you pay attention to it, You have seen this lady walking around town before, but didn't pay her much attention. You guys weren't really paying attention to the Igaori until Nyoka's spirits pointed them out.
Hmm. Okie dokie.
You can roll a history check if you want to, try and remember every time that you've seen her. But otherwise, it's just like now that you've been through a traumatic event with them, like I feel like that just really catches Morgan's eye. It's just like lightning strike. Ah! At a 13, it's gonna start coming together a little bit. She is always walking northwards, but you don't think you've ever seen her like any place else in the city. Just kind of always taking oh yeah, whenever I'm headed to the fighting pit, normally I see her walking the road sometime around then. That said, yeah, you can conjecture whatever knowledge you want off of it. But anyways, headed to Nylessa's office. This place isn't fully staffed yet, so of course they're going to have carpenters in here, just kind of like taking measurements and getting Carpenters Guild getting ready to build furniture and stuff for this area.
Off to ruin Nihilus' day.
Yeah, stepping into the upstairs area and then into the only closed door up here amongst all of these in rooms, and opening it. Nihilus is going to be on some strange foreign piece of furniture, just kind of like residing at a window looking over the courtyard, turning and looking at you. Do you guys just step in?
I mean,
that was Morgan's bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to decide if I'm just gonna kind of stand there haughtily or like try to, whatever, just walk in.
What, be suave with it?
Okay. Yeah, looking at you, she's gonna say, "Not today, Darbahari. Not today."
You used my last name. Means you're mad at me.
And she's going to stand up from the window and say, "I'm mad at a lot of things currently. What do you want?"
To know about your teleportation circle.
And she's gonna shake her head and say, "It's useless. It was on the bottom floor of our. It was on the bottom floor of the Dockmaster's tower. The land's blighted. 2 skeletons got in."
See, that's the problem. It's not useless. The Gaiori are using.
Wish it was useless. Would have been better if it was useless.
And she's going to go to her desk, and she's going to dip an inkwell and start sketching on a piece of parchment, and she is going to draw. You guys are going to see her drawing, and then she's going to come back and present the drawing to you and say, "Here, this is the sigil's sequence. If that's all you need, get out of my face." Is
it all we need?
Well, it's a pretty horrific rendition of it. Taking the sigil, or taking the drawing from you, Lucilith is going to say, "Is this a 5th century direction of flow, or direction of incantation charm, or is it a 2nd century?" Pointing at a specific line. Nylessa is going to say, "How should I know?" He's going to say, "Well, if it's not right, I can't." And he's going to say, "You know what? I'll make it work. Thank you."
Have you seen Rayin?
Has she seen rain? Let's roll a percentage die on that. Niles is going to say, yes, she stopped by this morning to make sure everything was settling in fine in this ward. Nobody was breaking out with the sickness. She also...
Wait,
you cut her off?
She was here?
Niles is going to nod and say, and she echoed your sentiments not to send anybody to the healing house anymore.
I wanted to reiterate that is still very much true.
In fact, more true now than ever.
You wouldn't happen to sell Alchemist Fire, would you?
Would she happen to sell Alchemist Fire? And she's going to say, and she's gonna, like, when you say that, you know, she's gonna let out this long, exasperated breath of, like, we would have a lot more stock in store for our general store and for our bazaar if a shipment of all of our mundane goods wasn't hit earlier this morning. It should have been at least on the northern. It should have been at least on the northern side of town, and we could have carted it into town. However, they were late by more than 6 hours, and I don't think they're going to show.
We don't need it anyway, XJ.
We don't need it, but it would be nice.
I'm not
poetic.
Thank you, Niles.
I want to burn things. I want to burn certain things.
You want to burn things that are immune to fire?
They are not.
They are.
At least
Delilah is.
That's a legitimate question, actually. Are they?
I can confirm to you, Delilah is very immune to fire. I don't know if that's a trait they all share, but the boss lady is not burning.
Yeah, we tried that.
I hit her with heat metal in that fight, and she shrugged it off.
So, as you guys are leaving, Lucilith is going to be looking at this parchment, the drawing of the sigil, and turning it upside down several times, like, you know, turning it diagonally, and say, "That's your magistrate? No wonder your town got attacked." And he's going to say, look at this sigil.
I look at the sigil.
I mean, to Morgan, it's hard to, you know, tell, like, what the sloppy lines are. Niles's line work is pretty good. And he's going to say she didn't pay attention at all if she viewed that teleportation circle, or teleportation sigil. If you see these two bins right here on it, these would never exist in an actual circle.
Does it matter what the sigil is?
He is going to nod and say, does it matter what the sigil is? Yes, of course it matters what the sigil is.
But does it?
And he's going to say there is some leeway that you can take when forming your own teleportation sigil to make it aesthetically pleasing, but there are elements of it that still must match the oscillations hit by the incantation of your spell. If those don't match, the whole thing doesn't work.
My point is that we're not trying to use it. We're trying to get rid of it.
And he's going to laugh and say, yes, of course. See, what I was thinking was I could just teleport there, dispel it, and leave, but this just got significantly harder.
It's not...
Could we not, like, just scrape it off with a sponge or something?
Well, the idea would be that you could teleport to it, turn around, and dispel it.
Yeah, if Niles gave him the sigil, he could just cast teleportation circle teleport to the circle, cast Dispel Magic, and then run away.
Can't you still do that?
No,
I think he just finished explaining why he couldn't.
Yes. My thing was, it was sort of like, I was being obtuse in the sense that it's like, I thought we were just going to storm the gates.
Yeah, no, I thought that was our plan too.
Well, it is what it is.
Sorry, go ahead.
Besides, maybe it's how you do things, but I'm not fond of the idea of moving in blind behind enemy line.
What are you talking about? We do that all the time.
Yes, I know.
Well, there's also just the statement of, it's possible she's not the one that made the circle.
Oh, she didn't make the circle. She paid for the circle. I never claimed Nihilest was a wizard. I just claimed that she would know where it was.
Who did she pay to make it?
That's easy. We have a tower called the Tower of Magic.
Well, it's actually in character, Lucilith is going to say, well, actually, it's called the Bay Flame.
My point is, Morgan, where's the Gaiori been hiding? What if they're the ones that put the circle in there in the first place? It takes a year to put a circle in. Permanently.
Yes, and the Master of Magic already gave me a side-eye because we're too poor to have one.
Yeah, Lucilith is going to say, I conjecture it's nothing more than happenstance of things working in their favor, that they found a portal in this town.
Well, it just seems a little convenient that there's a portal in this town that no one thought could even afford one.
Judging by what Lucilith is saying, it's we're not exactly well documented. Probably by design.
But the Master of Magic knew where we were and who we were.
I feel like you're...
I'm probably overanalyzing.
Pulling at strings that don't exist.
I'm just keeping thoughts on the level, because things just seem to be working in weird ways right now.
Nyoka is gonna pop up and say, "It don't matter. We'll be killing them anyways. We'll search this whole entire village to make sure."
You're very true.
The will of the mortal muse of fire. It's all divine, Milani. No? Morgan shouldn't do comedy.
I was going to say, Lucilith has a big smile on his face.
Thank you.
You've just been waiting to crack that one out for a while, haven't you?
I died. I need levity. Okay.
Well, would it do your soul good to burn some zealots?
Potentially. We need to be smart about this. Look, we know where it is. We've already seen it. We know where the circle is, and we have already seen a Gaiori potentially move there. I can gather almost assuredly that there's at least 2 of them. There could be more.
I'd make a wager that most of them are there. Knowing that we escaped and that we're on their trail, it seems like the most probable place that they'd slain or lay their most prominent defense.
What would you do in this situation, Lucilith?
Lucilith is going to... he's got a huge smile still on his face, and he's going to say, seek the advice of those wiser than me.
I think that was the point she was making, but...
And he's going to say, yes, I see comedy is lost on these few.
Well, one's a robot, one's a lizard from the swamp, and... So,
what would you do? What you're doing? No? No?
Comedy's not lost on us. It's just your
we are the comedy.
And Lucilith is going to recover, and he's gonna like start scratching his napkin. He might pull out a coin and fidget with it between his fingers and just be like, "Tough crowd." Well, of course we know where the sigil is, where she is. I myself am chosen because of my skills in infiltration. I would spend a day scouting out the region, get the. Did Morgan point out that woman that he saw?
Yeah.
And he's gonna save my time inside of their fortress and the few I fought. Not all of them are capable of higher level magic, which would suggest that only some are capable of transporting the individuals to the different fortresses. Obviously, dispelling that circle is my primary target, as once without it, they can't move quickly across the continent with ease. But if I can isolate one of the members who is able to teleport people between the circles, then that is equally as good in helping cripple their ranks. Once there's somebody who can't teleport people in and out, and I've dispatched that person, I wait a few days until they send reinforcements into the fortress, disguise myself within their ranks, sneak in, and then dispel the circle. Hopefully nobody discovers me, and I'm out. Of course, that's what I would do. And he's going to gesture to XJ and say, have you seen that guy's sword? Probably stab a good two of them at the gate. Storming it's probably not a half bad idea.
Well, when we fought them last time, we took out
He leans over and whispers to Morgan, and he's going to say, storming it's a horrible idea, but I just want them to feel better. You've been kind of harsh on them lately.
Why does everybody think I'm such a hard... I mean, it's true, but it's not like
he rolled a 6 on that stealth check. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. He's got a huge bonus to it. He actually rolled a 13 on that. Anybody with 13 or more passive perception heard him.
I feel like we're going to be storming the gate. You know, just an observation as a player.
No, I agree. Storming the gate isn't exactly the smart idea. We already tried the aggressive approach, and look where it got us. My concern is very simple.
I went around too.
Rain worries me.
Yeah, her being back in town is...
No. See, that's the thing. Her being back in town isn't what's concerning. She's been back in town. She went with us. She went upstairs. She never came downstairs. But apparently she's still in town. That Karin woman stated that Rain took a great pride in our capture. Now, I have no reason to believe her. Because she has no reason to be truthful. I feel it was said the same reason that she said she killed Chet. It was to get a rise out of him. But but it does concern me that Rayin got out of there apparently unscathed. But it's still telling Nihilest not to send people to the heal house.
That's the other thing that's confusing me. If Rain betrayed us and sold us out, she wouldn't be telling people that the Gaiori are not to be trusted.
Do you think they might not have captured her because she wasn't in the fight?
We made a pretty loud commotion. I'd wonder why she didn't participate.
It's possible she took off.
There's another possibility. She's not part of our group. She might not want to have gotten into a fight.
No,
That's also possible.
but she was also there questioning about one of her members.
I bring this up because she's a wild card. It's possible that she is working with them. I might be just getting a bit paranoid, letting Karin actually get to me. But if we're going to prepare for an infiltration or a siege, it helps to know all of the people you're dealing with.
Maybe we should
Rain's
go...
either a plant, or she just managed to dodge a testy situation. She might be useful.
Maybe we
Or
should
she could
go...
be another body we need to get.
Maybe we should go pay her a visit.
Nyoka says, why don't we just let oh fuck, what's her name? Who were we talking with? Nihilist?
You were talking with Nihilest. You guys are outside now talking with Lucilith. You're looking back over the courtyard as people are working.
Yeah, Nyoka said we can just have Nihilist move up in rank.
They don't work in the same organization. What do you mean by that?
Oh, I thought they worked in the same
No.
organization.
No.
Nihilest works with the White Cloaks. Rain's the captain of the Steel Cabal.
Maybe we should pay Rain a visit.
Lucilith,
That
I'll ask you. No,
that won't be a good idea because right now nobody knows we're here. Like the word hasn't got out yet.
They, the other people know we're here.
We're not being stealthy. We live here.
Yeah,
Well-
yeah. If you guys tell me you rolled a stealth check, then other people... then
No,
Like,
that-
do we even bother putting on disguises? I'm pretty sure everyone in this
Yeah.
town knows who XJ is.
Yeah,
No.
you guys have an amount of infamy and fame behind you with different factions and organizations.
Y'all aren't understanding what I'm saying is it takes a while for that news to travel, because they just think that we're still part of the thing. They don't know that we were actually sent to prison or anything else. So Nyoka is like, we should hit the circle tonight before word spreads that we are here to the wrong people. By visiting the Steel Cabal, we could be just playing into their hands.
I mean, that does have a point, but at the same time...
We have no idea what we're dealing with. I mean, we fought 3 of them, but we don't know what others there are and what they're capable of doing.
Assume the worst.
Well, if anything, Lonnie says while cracking a smile, we do owe it to... what was her name? The one who was killed.
Mata.
We owe it to Mata to report her death to her friends.
Maybe after we've dealt with them? I don't know, I'm kind of with Milani on this. I think the less people, speed is key here.
You mean Nyoka?
Yes. Names are important.
I would agree. If we're going to be dumb about this, we need to be dumb about this fast, because it gets dumber the longer we wait.
No, boss, it's your final call on this.
I don't want to rush in. I don't want to die again.
I don't think any of us wants to die again.
I wonder if we have much of a choice. Lucilus, what's your opinion? I'd be risking your life doing this.
Lucilith is going to wave his hands and say, "Oh, no, no, no. If you rush in, I wouldn't be fighting with you." Of course, if you did make that play, that's when I'd take my opportunity to sneak into the fortress.
Well, I mean, our goal is just to disable it, right? Not to kill. I mean, like, killing everyone's a bonus, but...
Yeah.
He makes a valid point. He wouldn't help us fight, but we could prove a decent distraction.
Yeah,
the only problem is what are we distracting from? Or the problem is what are we distracting?
Well,
I don't know how many there are.
Nyoka says that don't make sense. I suggest not going through the front door, but to sneak in and kill who we have to get the job done.
We kill everyone in that building that has one of their symbols.
Nyoka, it's a broken up building in the middle of where the docks used to be. I don't know if it has many doors. Actually, XJ and Milani have seen this. Fail a history check so we can continue this conversation.
Fail history check. Nat 20, come on, now's the time. That's a natural one. I have no memory of this.
Yeah,
it was alright.
Oh god, that's almost a one. Thinking on this, and this is going to be a hodgepodge of information. I mean, you guys have seen it, and it is mostly intact. Nyless told you guys a skeleton got the sigils on the bottom floor, and a skeleton, two skeletons got in there and desecrated the land. Presumably there's some sort of vault or some sort of lower floor beneath the Dockmaster's tower.
Nyoka have an idea. Let's come from the sea.
None of you can swim.
I don't need to breathe.
And Nyoka can hold breath.
Wait, come from the sea? Isn't the...
It's in the docks.
I don't think that...
It's not in the docks. Hold on, I'll circle it for you. The tower is in the center of it.
Yeah, no. I know it's not actually on the docks, but it's like super close to the docks. So if we come from that direction of the sea, nobody's going to expect us from that direction.
No one's going to be expecting us smelling like the ocean. You're right there.
And the only one we would have to worry about is
XJ, who is 400 pounds.
He can walk on the bottom of the lake.
Oh my god.
No breathing.
Well, what's the plan, boss?
You know, if there wasn't a group of fire clerics in town that might disturb me while I do it, drink. Look. Our plans thus far have been dumb and dumber. So.
So, when do we find dumbest?
Soon, apparently. Look, it's already been stated. If we decide to pick a fight with them at the tower, Lucilith isn't going to help us. At least in the sense that he's not going to participate in the fight, but it would be a distraction. Problem is we don't know what we're running into. It hasn't stopped any of you before, but I felt it needed to be stated.
I don't see why it would stop us now, then.
Lucilith is going to speak up and say, if I may, for a second, I don't know the exact situation that led to each of you being captured, but I myself fought several Gaiori clerics before I was brought down. I have been defeated by the Gaiori. You all have been defeated by the Gaiori. I myself have sustained a few injuries, and I don't assume any of you have particularly improved your skills in combat since your last encounter with them. Might I recommend...
that's right,
Morgan's gonna smirk!
I actually forgot we leveled up. XJ's still level 5.
No, that's where you are wrong. Wrong. My visit to the bridge led to an increase in power.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
And he's going to put his eyebrows together and say, "Oh, by all means, then, continue."
I am far stronger when we fought them in the Heal House. I feel confident that we could handle them. Additionally, though,
as long as we don't make the same mistakes this time.
That's my point. If we're going to be dumb about this, at the very least, we're going in with the idea that we're going to start a fight. A huge problem in our last attempt was that you idiots started a fight when we weren't supposed to, and I got caught in the back of the room between the two of them. I don't know if any of you realize this. I'm not the big stupid one that hits things with swords. But Lucilius brings up a valid point. We have lost once before. I'm stronger, but that doesn't mean that we're any better prepared strategically. I mean, I don't know about you. I am. I've seen what they can do. I know that I can't burn them to death, but I've fixed that problem. I know what to do now.
Nyoka's just gonna look at Morgan and go, "Then what's your plan, boss? Because all you want to do is just shit on all of us. So either make a decision or we go with Nyoka's plan."
Look, I don't think we have much of a choice. It's either
we go with Nyoka's plan then.
That was...
Well, lead the way. At least you'll die first.
Then you have a better idea?
No. We don't have the teleportation sigil, at least properly drawn.
Then let's sneak in and let's do it. Do we go from the sea or do we go from the land? Tell me, yes or no?
We go from the land. Sea is such a dumb idea.
Okay, then that means more people can see us, but do we wait till night or do we go right now? I'm not sure.
I would say night.
I don't know if they sleep there, so that's the problem.
Well, you figure if we go at night, our friend here can stake out the place a little bit and at least get some intel we need.
I mean, we can at least wait until nightfall so they don't see us coming. Like, down their driveway.
It's not unwise.
Anyone know,
could use the time to scout them out.
Right, I say that we send our friend for that.
If he thinks this is a good idea.
Lucilith is going to say, you want to kick down the door. I think you should definitely go at night. I can go look there early today, but if I find an opportunity to go in, I'm going in.
You can magically send messages.
Lucilith is going to shake his head. And say, that's a bit of magic I've never bothered learning. Never needed it. I told you, normally I work alone.
Well, your friends were saying you can send...
I feel like I want to call bullshit, because it's like, they were expecting it. And he intended to. Weren't you supposed to send them such a thing? So they'd know how you got killed?
And he is going to nod and say, they gave me a bunch of stuff for this job. And he's going to pull out, like, through his backpack. You guys are going to see, like, 3 more spell scrolls in there, and then a few more, like, vials and potions. And say, I've got 1 charge with the spell to let them know the job's complete.
How about we just set an established time, and if you're not back at a certain time, we'll just assume you're dead and we'll go with our plan.
Okay, so the plan is to have Lucilith scout it out for you, and then if he doesn't come back and tell you guys, to go in and kick in the front door.
We go in and kick in the front door anyway.
I was about to say, why are we going to kick in the front door if he ends up dead? If he ends up dead, we're not distracting for anything.
Well, I might have...
Why are we going through a kick through the front door? Let's just sneak in, do the thing as a group, and get out. I don't get why you going to go and kick down the front door.
Alright, yeah, so I handle it as everybody stealthing in.
Yeah, I still say we send him ahead since he's actually very good at sneaking. And we should definitely go at night.
Yeah,
I like the night part.
Lucilith is not going to contest that.
I mean, we could wait till nightfall. Lucilith can scout it out. We'll meet here. Apparently, we're going to do it whether you show up or not.
I don't know. We can make the decision then.
Is that alright with everybody?
Sounds good.
Nyoka?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
We're also waiting till night. We could also think up of a better plan while we wait for him.
There really isn't a better plan.
Well, like a form of attack.
Like it's either stealth or be loud as humanly possible, because the back entrance, Nylas doesn't know how to draw it.
Why not both?
Like,
I don't know, XJ could, like, kick in the front door while you go in through the back, and then XJ can run away. I
don't think there's a back door.
Kick in a wall. Come in like the Kool-Aid Man.
Anyway, so that's the plan? Cool.
Lucilith is going to nod and say, crystal cool.
Somebody talks.
I'm fine with this. I can possibly help.
That will come in handy.
Let me just check one thing real quick.
All right. So, what are you looking for? Maybe I can answer that question for you.
Okay. So, I look at Lucilis and go, I'm going to summon my steed with you. So that way, if you need to contact us or pass a message to us, just tell it and it can communicate it with me.
And he's gonna nod and say, never thought I'd be talking to a horse for to determine the fate of Beechwood Retreat.
It's a camel.
Camel.
Never thought that one either.
But you know what?
Oh, if only one of us knew, like, find familiar.
As you're casting that spell, he's going to gesture towards Morgan and say, hey, let me talk to you on the side real quick. I want to discuss my plan of entry. Just so if I go down, you guys know where to search for my body. The less ears that know, the better.
Okay.
So he's going to pull Morgan aside, walking off a good distance from the party, about 100 feet, to the other side of the courtyard, just, walking through these people setting up the bazaar and merchants and everything. And he's going to look back over his shoulder and say, so you really trust these people?
Trust them to do what?
To be by your side as you go through and confront the Gaiori a second time.
Do I trust them to stay by my side? Of course. I don't think that they'd, if you're insinuating they'd betray me, no. The problem is I don't think they're smart enough to keep me safe.
And he's gonna snap and say, that's it. Would you bet your life on their ability to protect you?
In this instance, generally no.
He's gonna...
I can't trust them not to make snap decisions that impair our ability to do anything. But you're giving them a task they can focus on.
He's going to put a arm around Morgan's shoulder, other hand, gesturing to the cloudless sky, and say, and how do you feel about finesse?
What exactly do you mean?
In his other hand, he has a wand, and says, have you ever seen one of these?
Have I?
I mean... Morgan knows wands can do magical things.
I mean, I know... I know generally what this is, but not specifically.
And he's, gonna say, when I get back in, with my, organization, I'll be expected to take a protege. This is a chance for you to prove yourself. I can teach you magical secrets that you never thought capable of. Your companion's plan is passable at best, and will likely get you killed a second time in the worst case scenario.
So what exactly are you suggesting?
And he nods and says, just let them be happy, just tell them everything's going fine, we're going with the plan, but we'll have one of our own that we'll enact. And he's gonna wave the wand at Morgan, like, tittling in her face and say, all you have to do is say yes. I'll do the rest.
Do you trust them not to show up?
not to show up. He's going to say, I trust them. I trust them enough that they got us out of that pickle, or they got us out of that situation before. But I don't know them, and in the past day that I've been traveling with them, I can't particularly say that. To handle a job of this importance, that I'd want to risk having them at the forefront of it. And he's gonna say, but you show some amount of competence. And he's gonna say, can you follow a plan?
Absolutely.
And he's going to toss the wand, catching it with his other hand, and clasp his hand back on Morgan's shoulder and say, great! So, here, this thing, you'll need to spend an hour of meditating on it. Once you do, you'll understand its properties a little bit more. It can disguise you. I'll scout out the fortress just as we discussed we would. But I'm gonna bring back a little bit of that. I'm gonna bring back a little bit of that blight, and we'll infect you with it. Send you to the heal house. Of course, this will allow you to disguise yourself. Whatever cleric or whatever member they have that's teleporting people out of there, you get her to take you back to that fortress. You sneak out just like you did before, as an animal. When she teleports back to the city, I'll be lying in wait. Hit her once or twice with a disintegration.
Disintegration?
Yeah. And it's oh, by the way, he pulls out the scroll and he looks at it and says, disintegration? Yeah. Then once she's out of the picture, our timetable to get rid of that teleportation circle turns from days to probably weeks. And I'll scoop you up in the desert wherever you land.
No. I like it. Subterfuge is nice, but I'm not getting infected again. And I sure as hell am not going back to that fortress.
You know what? He grimaces at you and snatches his wand out of your hand.
Fine. Whatever.
And he's gonna say it was a much better plan.
I'm not saying that I don't like it in theory. I just don't like it in personal taste.
And he nods and says, I'd infect some common citizen, but doesn't quite feel right. And I'd infect one of your other companions, but I don't trust that they can play the role or get themselves out of that situation.
Well, you also have to infect Nyoka. The robot can't be blighted, and Milani's a pet. Like I said, it's more of a moral issue. If I wanted to be surrounded and at the mercy of that kind of sickness, I'd have stayed home, waiting to drink from that stupid cauldron in that temple.
He's gonna roll a history check and say, the Trial of Bones?
Yes.
He nods and says, I've heard of it.
It's pleasant. It's my sister's problem.
He's gonna nod and say, fine, run back over to your friends then. Oh. I'll go through with this plan and scout as needed.
Trust me, dumb distractions are what we're good at. We're just usually not distracting anybody. We're just usually don't have somebody to take advantage of it.
He's gonna nod and begin walking towards the south part of town.
Does he know he's going in the wrong direction? Or is that the right direction?
It is the right direction, the south part.
I'm confused, because that Gaiori person was going north. Isn't north also that direction?
So, here we go. I'll draw the Gaiori in red. Morgan saw her moving through this alleyway. You guys are at the blue X. And I will draw him in magenta. After circling around this area, you see him leaving out this alleyway.
Okay, so that's, I mean, interesting. Oh, wait. So, she might have been going to the heal. No, that's the fight pit. Never mind.
The green X is the heal house.
There's 2 green X's.
The remaining green X is the heal house.
Oh, then I was right the first time.
Yeah. And I'll do yours, and you guys are the silver tree, so I'll do it in the silver X is your guild house.
We'll see you at nightfall, or we won't.
He throws up a single finger, a thumb in the air.
Oh, I thought it was a different thing.
I was expecting a different finger.
Well, I was going to say he'd throw up a peace sign, but that wouldn't be a universally recognized thing. Especially not in the clutch. Like, two what?
This guy's weird.
So, I rejoined the party.
Alright, the
was
party
that about?
is back together.
We're just clearing up exactly how the plan's going to work. If we have to be frank, he doesn't trust you to be competent.
I don't blame him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's about right.
But he hasn't seen us truly duke it out yet.
He hasn't seen us really be dumb.
We can be much worse.
Look, so we
I
have
hate
time
to be
to
a
kill.
buzzkill, but I do have work like super early in the morning. So.
Okay, we can end off here. I was definitely not planning on taking you guys past 8:30. Or, I'm sorry, 10:30. We can end here if you'd like, or we can go for like 5 more minutes.
I was
Is
about
there
to
anything
say,
else we need to do, or?
I want to say the only thing would be determining if we're going to do anything in the intervening hours, and the only thing I can think we would do is confront Raid.
Okay, yeah, let's start next session with you guys talking to Rayin.
Oh wait, wait, no, that's the thing. Do we want to confront Raid?
Nyoka says no. He thinks we should do that after we do what we're going to be doing with the...
Like I said, that could be a potential red flag. That could be tipping...
Yeah,
that could put them in the red alert, or we could get ourselves a really sweet ranger friend. And that went really well when we got out of the fortress.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, I want to minimize risk, but at the same time, considering what we're doing, that seems kind of also pointless. Because
Like
I
I
would
said-
love it if we could actually do a stealthy plan and actually pull that off. It's just my hunking bulk.
Well,
Now-
Milani can cast Pass Without Trace.
Yeah.
You know,
So-
on a long rest, you can change your configuration.
Wait, can you? I thought you were stuck with whatever you had.
No.
I can adjust that.
I'm pretty sure you can change it.
I'm searching.
Yeah.
I'm searching that. I'm pretty sure like your specific class, as in like Juggernaut, and is stuck as that.
Okay, I'll get you an answer after the session. But-
I'm gonna look at it now.
But yeah, so I mean, that's the thing is, I am personally biased towards talking to Rayin, mostly because some emotional trauma I've been through recently. But, you know, if it's gonna put this mission in danger, it can wait. So, kind of going with the group feel on this one. You know, Shelby's a no. Is anybody else a no? Anybody a yes?
I personally think we should, but
you can so integrated protection. You can alter your body to enter different defensive modes. Each time you finish a long rest, choose one mode to adopt for the integrated protection table, provided you meet the mode's requirements. So I have the heavy plated armor. Oh no, I can actually take off the heavy plated armor and go for like a Darkwood core, which is a more dexterous build.
So, you know, 8 hours, XJ can, you know, change its configuration.
Do we have 8 hours?
Do you have 8 hours before sundown? Yes, you do.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to change my configuration, but I lose, AC.
Well,
I lose a lot of AC. Well, most of my AC comes from a heavy armor, so...
Yeah,
quite a
but
bit.
what does it switch to?
It switches to my dex, so it goes from like a +4 to a +2. Plus, it's technically... Well, like, all of my thing is technically unarmored, but... I think it's, like, base starts at 12. One second, I need to look at it again.
Anyways. But yeah, so, big thing. Rayin, what are we gonna do?
I'm fine waiting.
Cool, we're fine waiting. So we're not gonna talk to Rayin. Everybody, let that be known. Hi, stream. Not talking to Rayin.
Alright, and that's where we'll pick up next session then. Not talking to Rayin, just like we're doing right now. Thank you for watching, and oh wait, God, we need to do experience.
No, we don't. We didn't do anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be super minor experience tonight.
We really did not do anything.
You guys didn't pick up anything at the university. And Beechwood. Oh, you guys met Carrie. Carrie has been ping-ponging around this region for for a couple days, and you guys have like, I put him on the roads, headed like encountering you guys if you went to the dungeon. And it's like, oh, you guys didn't get there, so he'd get to the town, and then you guys got teleported out of the town. And it's like, all right, so you guys are out of the town. He's not gonna, you know, wait around. He's gonna go to Beechwood Retreat, and then that's when your paths finally cross. I'll give XJ, well, for XJ, I'll give you guys 700 experience for his personal story. That is not the only Warforged wandering the roads. You guys know Willis has gone underground, and Isara is hunting him. I'll give 500 experience for that as a minor thing. And Elmira has started taking out mercantile ships around your town. So for in total tonight, 1,700. It's
1,700, so that's 2 500s and a 7.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's where we'll end for tonight. And your next session is going to be on the 12th of October. One day away from Spooky Friday, man. We're so close.
Woo! What